Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back in another video. It's been a rather big nightmare to start this video. We try and start it for ages, but anyway, it's taken me ages. It's now actually Saturday, really, but anyway, so I'm a bit behind schedule. But I hope you enjoy it anyway. I'm sure there's something else going to say. Oh yeah, it was frozen, as I would say in my rather immature language. But anyway, sticking to the theme of dyslexia and dyslexic Fridays, or Dyslexia Fridays. I thought I'd talk about some of my ideas to do with dyslexia on Fridays. And for Fridays, I normally like to stick to a certain theme and try and remember my train of thought. Sorry, and talking more about my dreams and stuff like that. On Fridays, I love to talk more in a dream sort of vision. Whereas, as I said before, like on Thursdays, it's more like realistic. But anyway, I hope people out there enjoy these videos, as I say. And I tried to upload this video. It's taken me like an hour, so I hope people will support this because of my efforts at least. But anyway, yeah, it's been a bit more hard work than I planned. Normally I'm allergic to hard work, but anyway, I think that's all I was going to say for the intro. As I say, my video was frozen, as I put it, but here goes. So number 11, I would love to I would love for dyslexics to make video games and tech games generally, especially ones from Africa, and sticking to the theme about football Fridays, like having a partnership for Celtic then. For making games for Italian football and Celtic actually. On that note, dyslexics, especially from Africa, to make video games and tech games generally for Italian football and Celtic, where, like, say, you get to play as an Italian team or Celtic, either national team in Italy's case, or in Italian football's case, or for one of the club teams. Yeah, so I don't know. I've been waiting to say that for ages, but I don't know what happened to my laptop today. It seems like the laptop which was frozen. It would be hard to believe that Facebook and YouTube were frozen at the same time, but I don't know what happened. I was trying everything I could to try and upload these videos. But as I say, dyslexics, especially from Africa, from across Africa, but also all around the world, to make video games and tech games generally for Italian football and Celtic, like where you get to play as an Italian team, either in a national team or a club team, or Antwerp or Celtic, and you compete against other teams, and hopefully that'll be a good way to benefit all of those groups: Italian football, Celtic, and dyslexic people, especially from Africa. I mention Africa when it comes to making video games and tech games generally, because I dream to support Africa in tech, as I've mentioned in the past. Number 12, I think it'd be cool if we worked on fitness, like getting from fat to fit. Interestingly, there's a dyslexic guy who called Billy Blanks, an African American guy with dyslexia, who does training in martial arts. Please check out his YouTube. I think it'd be interesting if people like him with dyslexia helped the rest of us, like fatties like myself, because I'm quite fat. You probably can't tell that my stomach is really fat, even though I did a lot of walking, but my diet's really bad and I don't get to play football much anymore. But yeah, it'd be cool if we helped each other to get fit, and I did training and mentored each other and worked together as a group on that kind of thing. Number 13, as I mentioned recently as well, I would love for dyslexics to talk about some of the struggles we face, and also unfortunately, I didn't get to do this on Friday the 13th last week, but I'd love to do so ASAP, especially this month, preferably, which is to get dyslexic people to make like things for Halloween, like, and ideally it would have been Friday the 13th as well, like masks, Halloween costumes, Friday the 13th costumes, and things to sell in shops. So it'd be a good way for dyslexics to make more money as well, which could be very helpful, and also to make films, scary films, short videos on YouTube perhaps, and all sorts of things to do with like creepy, scary, and dare I say even freaky stuff, as in like because it begins with F, so think of my alliterations. But yeah, that kind of thing I use those terms interchangeably anyway in this case. But yeah, so I think that'd be pretty cool. Number 14, I hope that we can find solutions together for things like I say, using our dyslexic creativity for things like challenges we face. And I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I was going to say something, but yeah. So I'd say to benefit Time for All and benefit Celtic, I'd say, and help to solve problems around the world. And if I could set up the Dyslexic Billionaires United company, I think that would help me to solve a lot of problems, because we would have the finances to invest in dyslexic people, to invest in Time for All, Celtic FC, and dyslexic people all around the world, including in developing nations. And I'd love to help dyslexic people in, I don't want to say third world countries, that's not a PC term, developing nations, shall we say, to put it politely, and former colonies, as I often say. Number 15, I would love to hear from, as I often say, like dyslexics, dreams and goals and aspirations and what they want to achieve and how we can help them to do so. I'd say if I'm really dreaming, I'd say I would love for us to travel to Italy and share ideas for football and to Celtic, and also to developing nations or former colonies / former colonies, let's say, as I often mentioned. So those are some of my dreams personally, but I'd love to hear from other dyslexics as well. Like, what sort of dreams do you have, any dyslexic people watching, and what do you think could help you to achieve those dreams, if you dream big and really believe in those dreams. Number 16, I would love for us to have committees, brainstorms, cooperatives, think tanks, or whatnot, discussing what's the best ways, as I say, to benefit Time for All Celtic and all those things I talked about, and how we can do so as dyslexics, but also how we can benefit our own community as dyslexics all around the world, including, I say, in developing nations or / former colonies, whichever term you want to use. I suppose normally they go hand in glove, but I'd love to see what we can achieve together, and like what dreams we have and how we can achieve those dreams, and how we can help dyslexics to achieve their full potential as well. So basically, those are some of the things I wish to benefit. Number 17, once again, using my imagination and dreams, I would love to see what we could do for what the Dyslexic Billionaires United could do, and if it was set up and things like that. If I'm really dreaming, I think that would be pretty cool. And if dyslexic billionaires could invest, I often thought in the past it would be interesting if, like, let's say, I think at the time, I'm not sure if this is still the case, but two of Europe's biggest economies were France and Germany, I think. So I was thinking, let's say, France and Germany, if a Dyslexic Billionaires United network was going to be set up, hopefully, all being well, let's say France and Germany would have to compete to offer us favourable terms. As a founder, as I say, as a founder, I'd love to be the only non-billionaire member. In order to join, you'd have to be both a billionaire and dyslexic for this particular network, as fitting of the description. And I would love to be the only non-billionaire member. Yeah, so they would have to offer us favourable tax rates and things like that. And obviously, we would say that we're going to invest billions into your economy. And I suppose a similar could be done for, like, say, China and India in Asia, like whichever ones give us favourable deals to have access to markets, tax exemptions, or at least tax cuts and things like that. We would invest in such markets, and I'd love for dyslexics to pay the least amount of tax as possible. But at the same time, I think we should do a lot of good for charity. Number 18, on that note, I'd love for people to share things which are positive about dyslexia. Number 19, I'd love to celebrate and support dyslexic comedians. One area where many dyslexics can thrive is comedy, although it's not a strength that I have. And I suppose you can have overlapping conditions, like I do try and be funny, you can probably tell from some of my videos, but we do have like overlapping conditions, like some people with dyslexia might have some form of autism as well, or another condition like dyspraxia, like I have, which sometimes makes humour a bit difficult, understanding humour or things like that, to be honest. Especially when you're younger. Like when I was younger, there was a lot of humour which I didn't quite understand or whatever. I think I've grown a bit more humorous as I've got older in some ways. Sometimes humour is the way I deal with things. I have like self-deprecating, or whatever you call it, humour, or I make humour out of situations, dark situations or things like that sometimes, but I have to be careful not to offend others. And number 20, on that note, I did want to say a little joke about football as a side note. I know that's not specifically dyslexia related, but it is a joke that some dyslexics might have thought about, and it's something I heard someone mention I don't think they were dyslexic, but they could have been, I suppose. Well, they could be. But they were saying it's quite an irony that football is so homophobic, considering like we watch 22 guys running around in shorts, and like we hear people say like we're obsessed with balls, and we hear like people say good tackle, son, good tackle, and also like managers or coaches will tap the player on the butt and say like get stuck into him and stuff like that, get up his backside and stuff like that. So and then afterwards footballers get dressed in together in the changing rooms and like whack each other with towels when they're naked and go in the shower together and stuff like that. So it's quite an irony that football is so homophobic, but there's probably some other innuendos you can think of with football, but I know I try and keep it family friendly sometimes. But anyway, I just thought I'd have that bit of humour towards the end, as I say, like having fun on Fridays, and as some might say, like a day without laughter, joking, joy, fun, humour, and things like that is a day wasted. So I think as much as I like to be serious sometimes, and I like to get certain things done each day, I do try and get some laughs in when I can as well, and enjoy myself. So I think that's important. I think there's no point in having lots of money or things like that if you don't enjoy it. But anyway, I'm going to stop laughing and finally got to upload this video, thank God. Anyway, I am out. Peace out.